The afternoon sky sagged low over the James family estate, heavy and colorless, as if even the clouds sensed the confrontation about to unfold. Deep stood at the iron gate for a long, trembling moment. The metal was cold beneath her fingers, grounding her in a moment she wished she could postpone but knew she couldn't escape. She came with a purpose, to be respectful, to speak calmly, to explain sincerely that she truly loved James. Yet her heart thudded uneasily, as though the house itself, grand, old, and mercilessly quiet, was warning her to turn back. When she finally stepped inside, she saw him, Father James, not sitting, not reading. Not pretending politeness, he was waiting. His eyes were sharp, colder than she had ever imagined. Before she could even greet him, his voice sliced through the room. "So you are too deep." He said her name slowly, as though it tasted bitter on his tongue. "The girl who thinks she can take my son away." Her lips parted, but no words came. "Came because I want to talk to you. I don't want any misunderstandings between us." "Misunderstandings?" he scoffed. The sound echoed like metal striking stone. "There is no misunderstanding." "I know exactly what you are." He stepped closer, dissecting her with a single unblinking look. "A poor village girl with no education, no background, no place in our family." The words struck her like stones. Heat rose in her chest, but she swallowed it. She forced herself to breathe. "Sir, I only want to stand beside James honestly." "That is all. And that," he snapped, "is exactly what you will never have permission to do." His voice dropped into a harsh whisper. "You think love is enough? You think sincerity can change his future?" "My son is heir to a company, to a legacy, far bigger than you can imagine." His gaze flicked down to her hands. The faint traces of soil remained under her fingernails, proof of the life she worked for, the vegetables she harvested each dawn for her small market stall. "You will only drag him down," he said. Her throat tightened. She clasped her hands behind her back so he could not see them shake. "I love James, and he loves me. I don't want to harm him." Father James slammed his walking stick against the floor. The sound echoed through the hall like a gunshot. "You already are harming him," he hissed. "Every second he spends with you is damage. And if you have any sense left, any at all, you will walk away before it is too late." Her heart cracked, but she held her ground. "Why do you hate me so much?" she finally asked, voice nearly breaking. "Because," he said, leaning close enough for her to feel the cold of his breath, "your existence threatens everything I built." And I will not let my son throw his life away because of a woman like you. The words were sharper than any blade. Her vision blurred, not with anger, but heartbreak, and then, she heard it. Footsteps. Fast, determined, familiar. James, he was here, and he had heard enough. Night settled over the countryside with a hush, as if even the wind dared not disturb the fragile tension between James and Deep. Hours earlier, he had stormed away from her house. Not because of her, but because everything around him felt like it was cracking at once. Contracts collapsing. Investors withdrawing. Sabotage creeping through the company like poison. But she had been the one to receive the blow. He had driven for hours, aimlessly, until he reached the small bridge where he first met her months ago, carrying bundles of vegetables, exhaustion on her face, quiet resilience in her eyes. The memory hurt. Meanwhile, back at her home, Deep sat curled at her doorway, hugging her knees. The night breeze was cool and kind, unlike the memory of James's harsh words. Words sharp not with cruelty, but with fear. He was afraid of losing everything, including her. Still, the hurt lingered. She remembered the phone he had given her so she could study. How he always carried her heavy baskets despite her protests. The patient smile he wore whenever she struggled to understand something. But tonight, that James felt far away. Then, footsteps, slow. Heavy, he didn't open the gate. He only stood outside it, gathering courage. Deep. I'm sorry. She turned slightly, seeing his shadow stretched by the moonlight. A silhouette of a man battling storms no one else could see. You shouldn't be here, she whispered, her voice soft but bruised. I know, but I had to come back. His voice trembled. Everything is falling apart at the company. Someone is sabotaging us, from the inside. And today, I let the pressure turn me into someone I never wanted you to see. None of that excuses what I said. You didn't deserve it. She looked away. Forgiveness would be easy, too easy. Her heart always softened around him. But wounds needed time. Why didn't you tell me? She asked quietly. Why do you keep everything to yourself? Because I don't want you to worry. But I do worry, she said, voice trembling. When you push me out, I worry even more. The gate creaked softly. He pushed it open, slow, careful, as if entering sacred ground. He knelt beside her. Please. Don't walk away from me, she exhaled shakily. She hadn't said she would. He reached out, offering his hand. She didn't pull away, her fingers curled into his. Not forgiveness, not yet. But a beginning. Morning arrived quietly, painting the village in pale gold. When she stepped outside, James was already there. Sitting on the stone bench beneath the mango tree, he looked exhausted, clothes creased. Eyes shadowed, but when he heard her footsteps, his expression softened. "You stayed," she whispered. "I wanted to be here, in case you needed me." She walked past him toward her garden, her heart unsure whether to forgive or remain guarded. James followed at a respectful distance. After a long silence, she asked, "What's happening at your company?" He inhaled slowly. "Someone is pulling strings. Contracts we secured months ago are collapsing." Shipments blocked. Investors withdrawing all at once, and someone hired people to track me. She froze. "Who would do that?" "I don't know, but whoever it is, they're close. Too close." They walked toward the house. Then, a sound. A guitar. Soft, wandering notes floating from the dirt road. Deep stiffened. The homeless man. The one she had fed months earlier, the tired eyes. The cracked hands. He was watching her. Not the sky, not the road, her. James sensed her unease. "You know him?" "I met him once. He looked hungry, so I gave him something." James frowned. Something about the man was unsettling. Then, a motorcycle roared. A figure approached. Minimum, he jumped off with effortless confidence, eyes brightening instantly when he saw her. "Good morning, Deep," he said warmly. James stiffened beside her. "You came all the way here?" Deep asked. "I had business nearby," Min shrugged. "And talking to you is always pleasant." James's jaw tightened. Min turned to him, finally acknowledging his presence. "Oh, James. I didn't expect to see you here." "This is her home," James replied evenly. "I come often." Min's gaze lingered on the closeness between them, sensing the emotional residue of last night. His smile faltered for a fraction of a second. "I came to discuss the bridge project." "The team approved the plans. We can move forward once you finalize your part." James didn't respond. He was too busy watching the way Min looked at Deep. Admiration. Interest. Something deeper. Deep felt it. The tension tightening between the two men, unspoken, undeniable. The homeless man strummed again, a soft melancholy threading through the morning like a warning. Then Min turned back to her. "If you're free later, Deep, I'd like to show you something near the construction site." "It's beautiful in the evenings." James inhaled sharply. Deep's heart flickered, not because of Min, but because she felt the weight of two worlds pulling at her. James finally spoke. "She has plans today." Min lifted an eyebrow. "Let her decide." Silence fell. Deep looked from Min, to James, to the guitar player whose watchful gaze read too much. The air thickened. Jealousy, uncertainty, an approaching storm. That was the moment Deep realized. The trouble was no longer confined to the company, it had reached her doorstep.